To be honest, a little.
Yeah. I'll make that quick.
I'm not really tired of meeting new people and talking about it, because the people I'm meeting are genuinely good people, so that makes it easier to talk about it. And the fact that it's a good movie that we're proud of makes it a lot easier. After I've seen the movie?
No, after you've done the love scenes.
Oh, you know, nothing radical. It was just like, okay, we've got that done. We definitely achieved a level of intimacy that was required, and you know, I think we felt a sense of accomplishment, you know, because we needed to accomplish that. And it was just another day and another scene. No, we first met on, you know, at the front of a production office before rehearsals. We met across a car park, and the rest is history.
You clicked.
Yeah. It was a big, loud click.
Cool. Great.
Yeah, of course. We've always seen the humor in that title, you know. And it never really concerned us because we knew what our product was and what the story was, and we knew that the story would transcend cheap and easy labels. And so, yeah, we giggled about it quite a bit.
Oh, that was there.
Yeah, no, that had nothing to do with the title, Gay Cowboy Movie. Me giggling was purely out of nerves and also out of, it felt so silly to have to announce yourself. Like, we're sitting there going, this brilliant cast in Brokeback Mountain. And I'm like, that's us, you know. We're telling our own story, and I also hadn't read it before because I didn't know I was going to do it, and so I was actually sitting there all night at the dinner table, watching all the other cast members go up there, introduce themselves, and I was like sitting there with Michelle, and I was like, I wonder who's going to announce us, kind of thing. And she was like, you are. And I'm like, what? I leant over to Jake. I was like, we're not doing that, are we? He's like, yeah, we are. I was like, oh shit. so we ran backstage, and they gave me a script. I'm like leafing through it. I'm like, oh my god. And then they said, no time, we're going to put you on stage. And they ran us backstage. I'm just standing there going, oh, this is stupid. I have no idea what I'm about to read and how it's going to come out. So I went out there and I'm reading it off the teleprompter. And it's quite literally two young, brave men go out on horseback in the wilderness. And I couldn't keep a straight face. I just found it very humorous. And that's it. And then that, of course, because it's such a touchy industry and such a touchy world, people choose to interpret that as whatever they choose, you know, when in fact it was just you know, very lighthearted. No, not me personally. I don't think I needed to be changed. I never really had a problem or issues about it. You know, I think whether or not the movie or you know, same-sex love is controversial, I think that's all very relative to the person you are. And you know, I personally never had any huge qualms with it, and so I never felt like I needed to be changed or taught a lesson of any sort. But I understand that I feel like it has definitely helped other people broaden their acceptance.
Would you put yourself in the freezer and come back in 100 years?
Only if Michelle and Matilda could be frozen with me.
Do you own a sweatsuit?
I beg your pardon?
Do you own a sweatsuit?
Like tracksuit pants and a... I think I have a black pair of tracksuit pants I use for when I do yoga with Michelle. Why? It's so funny. That's the most original question I've ever been asked. Do you have a sweatsuit?
No, of course not. Would you give up sex for a year in exchange for world peace?
Oh, sure.
Cool. What's your biggest weakness?
Probably my daughter. Yeah. I think she's already got me like this.
What's your biggest strength?
Probably Michelle.
That's nice. Oh, nice answers.
They're very obvious answers to me.
What's your greatest fear?
losing that, losing them.
When was the last time you laughed?
About 10 seconds ago when you asked me, do I own a sweatsuit?
Okay. When was the last time you cried?
And then, last time I cried, probably when I left Australia. The press were very hard and were fabricating a lot of stories and kind of assaulted Michelle and I on the red carpet, kind of squirted us with water pistols, and pretty much felt like they'd exiled us from my own country. And I definitely went back home, had a little cry, and then packed up my house and I've sold it. I'm not going back there. But that was probably the last time I cried.
What's that?
It's sad, but it's fine. They'll get over it, and so will we.
How would you describe yourself?
Boy. I don't know. I guess I'd like to think I'm indescribable, particularly to myself. I don't ever really want to settle on one way. I guess I'd describe myself as just, you know, like everyone else. I like to think that, you know, everyone really, you know, we're all built and cut from the same cloth. And I do feel connected to life.
Well, I finished the sentence. My life is,
you know, just at the moment magical and whimsical and just full of love.
It's a real personal process on how you just instantly become someone's brother. But you know, we just eventually after working with each other for that long, you just start smiling like each other, laughing like each other, walking like each other, because you want to, because you're curious, because you're observing each other's characteristics and movements, and so there's imitation comes into play, little bits. But there's, once again, there's a huge contrast in our characters, so we couldn't be that similar to each other. You know, Matt and I had a month out here before we shot, so we had a lot of time to sit around and get to know each other and get comfortable with each other, and you know, he has a brother, so he knows exactly how to do it. I have sisters, so I had to ask my sister what it's like to have a brother, which I didn't, but I should have. But I don't know. You just find a bond, and we did. Now, if Terry wasn't a part of the project, I don't think anyone else would be here either. And that's certainly how I feel. And he certainly elevated this project to another level and inspired this eccentric quality out of everyone. And so it's been an absolute training day for me. It's been a riot. I absolutely love working with that guy. Everyone does, down to every single apartment. Just loves this guy, obviously bows down to him and his movies, and so we're all willing to work our asses off for him, and we do, and we love it, we enjoy it. For me personally, I mean, it's been a real opportunity to leap out of my skin, and I've had an absolute ball. I've gone for it. I've had no shame whatsoever, and that's a gift from Terry, because playing comedy and feeling comfortable and free enough to express yourself in these ways, or to these extremes, you have to really trust the person who's directing you, because you know, you got to trust that they know what to pick and stuff to use, because when you're going to such extremes, there's so much bad stuff you go through. You got to be bad to be good, and certainly the time we're spending between action and cut, it is fantastic, and I'm loving the people I'm working with, and I'm having the time of my life. I really am.
What now?
Yeah,
right now.
When was the last time you were in the States? Were you there for the
I was
big
back
day?
there for. No, I wasn't. I was in Perth actually on the big day. But no, I kind of I haven't been working for the last couple of months. I've had time off. I went through Europe with some friends and just travelled and that's it. And I've been spending time at home in Perth with my family.
And have you talked to your friends back there?
Yeah, I
How
have.
are they feeling?
They're a little shook up, you know, obviously, and I don't know. They say it's just a real weird vibe right now in LA. It's kind of, you know, all the cars have American flags flying on them. You know, there's tattoo shops with you know, free stars and star and stripe tattoos available.
And Hollywood's sort of shut down, hasn't it? It's
yeah,
really
all the
ground to a
studios
halt.
apparently have shut.
Yeah.
Yeah, you know, I did the movie after movie thing for 2 years straight, and it just wore me out. You know, it was 6-day weeks, 18-hour days. And
How many times do you reckon you're going to play Mel Gibson's son?
And I don't know, a couple more times.
Yeah.
Yeah, I know. I guess.
Not that you want to whinge about a good
know,
situation, but
exactly.
it is a lot harder work, I think, than people think.
Yeah, it really is. I mean, I guess the last one, I did a small movie called Monsters Ball, but before that, I did this giant epic with Shaker Kapoor, and you know, things like I had 3.5 hours in the makeup chair every morning, so I'd get to work at 3 o'clock in the morning, get out of the makeup chair at 6, get home at 10 p.m. And I really had like 4 hours sleep a night for 6 months.
What were you getting made up to be in three and a
An
half
Arab,
hours?
actually. My character, he goes off to Africa and disguises himself as an Arab for a year. It's the story of Four Feathers. I don't know if you know it. They've done it like 5 times before. And you don't do anything.
What a mad
No,
science
you
scene.
can't. Yeah, and because we're so isolated, we're in this little town called we're in where is it? Erfurt, and so there was nothing there. There was one Casbah, and you know, that was it. So it was pure isolation. And it was just our hotel room. You'd go home and you're just in your hotel room by yourself, eat the same thing for dinner every night. You just had a routine, and that
So
was
you,
it.
you didn't rock the Casbah?
I didn't. Yeah, I do. I don't know. I think I might. I want to try and keep my place over there for another year or so, but I really want to move back here. You know, I'm really missing home and my friends and stuff like that.
Can we say that your dad's in with you tonight and your sister?
And my dad and my sister.
Yeah.
What sort of...
Gut instinct, yeah.
Yep.
You know, generally I'll go against the first things that my agents bring to me because
Okay.
you know it's CAA and they're like, you know, blockbuster, big, you know, fire engines, explosions, and
okay.
action and you know, I don't
Hero
know,
stuff? Is it hero, classic Hollywood hero
well, especially
stuff?
after
or-
A Knight's Tale, that's all.
Yeah.
Did you take many hits, mate? Did you take many
No,
hits?
I didn't take any. They wouldn't let me ride a bicycle insurance-wise, let alone get knocked
So
off
you
a
didn't
horse.
properly learn?
I did. Yeah, I mean, at times I had to do it, but I mean, those guys were crazy. You know, those stunnies were really hitting each other. Like,
Stunnies are mad.
They are
They're a
mad.
breed apart.
Yeah. Yes and no. I can understand it, but you know, I really don't really read a lot of it, and I just don't believe it. I really don't believe this stuff,
It's
good or
hard
bad,
not
especially
to,
the good
though.
stuff. You know, I think it's really healthy
If someone's
not to believe
interested
in good stuff.
if you what's the process of getting you for a movie? How does it happen? They then send you the script and you go, yeah, I like it. What happens then? You go talk to the director?
Yeah, I guess. Yeah, I don't know. It's a screened process, you know. It's not like everything, doesn't just arrive on my doorstep. Obviously, it goes through the agency, and then they make their decisions, and then you get what they think is right for you.
I should warn you, Glenn's got a script in his
I was thinking, what's this under the table?
back away very quickly. Is it true you're keen to play the role of Ned Kelly?
Yeah. Well, I mean, we're talking about it right
You
now.
know who's played that before you, don't you?
Yeah, well, I mean, I played hockey for 15 years of my life, yeah.
Right.
It was a big part of my life.
Were you
and,
a bully? The bully?
Was I what?
The bully. Hockey
no.
1, hockey 2?
No, I was... that rule was out by the time I started playing
Oh,
hockey.
really?
Yeah.
Because I asked our office somehow find a photo of Heath as a
Playing
hockey
hockey?
player.
Oh,
And
Well, which one?
Closer. Hang on, don't tell us.
I can...
Did you have... How
No
was
idea.
your hair?
That was
Front
just-
row.
No,
Front
that's
row.
just chosen it.
There.
Lock it in.
Back row. Back row.
Never have got that. Oh, okay.
And where's Heath?
You weren't goalie, were you?
No, where am I?
Oh, don't. Wait, that's just a hockey team.
Right,
Okay.
Oh, right,
That's just a random hockey team.
That could be anybody.
No, I was going to say, but that was at a fair level, wasn't it? At a state level.
Oh, yeah, I did. I played for Western Australia a little bit, like junior level and stuff like that. Yeah, I don't know. It wasn't a huge decision. It was never going to be a career of mine, you know? It was just like any kid plays any sport, and, you know, I just kept following it. But, yeah, it did get to a place where, you know, I was splitting my focus. It was one or the other, so, you know. It was good and bad, because sometimes you get disappointed, you know? Now, sometimes I don't really want to meet some people because it kind of destroys...
Assholes.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I don't know. I guess, and then on the other hand, you can be pleasantly surprised. They can be just really genuine, normal, nice people, and it kind of, that.
Right, I basically play a soldier, and he chooses not to go to war, and the feathers are sent to him from his friends, and they're feathers of cowardice. And that's it. That's what they mean. And I go off to war to reclaim dignity and hand them back to them one by one, and that's kind of it. We had very little time to do anything but really focus in on this movie. So that was it. Other than that, we You know, he played drums with a Sudanese drum band every like Tuesday nights.
I heard about that.
That was nice.
Yeah. It's kind of crazy.